Hello, Big V. We are with our Division 1 men here for our senior podcast, and we're going to discuss the home runs. Now, top 5 for Division 1 men. So, first place will get a bye. 2 and 3 will have a second chance opportunity. 4 and 5 will have the knockout. Now, Shepparton sitting kind of comfortably at number 1, 12 and 2. You got Warrnambool and RMIT that are both 10 and 4. Gippsland 9 and 4, and then Pakenham and Warrandyte are sort of nearing that 5th position. But you look at this ladder, and questions sort of revolve around how much is it ultimately going to change.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, Ted. You look at firstly, can we just give a quick shout out to the country representation in the top 5, with 4 of the teams being
amazing
country associations. Really. It sort of celebrates the whole Victorian basketball aspect, which is pleasing.
Yeah.
But, no, you look at Pakenham sitting in 5th with 11 and 5 record, and probably Gippsland, you mentioned them because they've got a 9 and 4 record, less wins under their belt.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's a pretty big drop-off to then get to a 50% team at 7 and 7 in Warrandyte, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. It makes things very, very difficult for these teams to try and make that push into the finals, especially with some of these runs that these teams have towards the end of the season.
Yeah, which we'll talk about now, and let's think, all the stars align. That's what we're talking about. Stars aligning. Warrandyte, Coburg, Bulleen are trying to make that last minute push for that top 5. But let's also talk about where we are in the top of the table. Shepparton 12 and 2.
Yeah.
How does their run home look, Ted?
I mean, they got Gippsland United immediately next, who are sitting 4th, and they're looking incredibly strong. So, yeah, that's going to be a very, very competitive game. Going to be very interesting to see how they go. They got Warrnambool and then Bulleen. So, again, Warrandyte, apologies, and Bulleen. So, 2 games we're probably going to expect some wins to them. RMIT next, and then Coburg and Southern Penn. So, you're probably going to expect, 4 to 5 wins at least.
Yeah. And if they get 4 or 5 wins, they've effectively got first place locked up. If they drop a couple there, it might have to come down to a head-to-head, which we'll have to look into. But, yeah, you look at them, Gippsland United and RMIT, they're tough ones. You'd think they'd chalk the other ones up for a win against the Warrandytes, Bulleens, Coburgs, and then Southern Peninsula. I wonder if that soft draw towards the end of their season is putting them in the best preparation for finals, Ted.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if they don't have that great run home and then they do finish first, they have that bye.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting to watch. And we go to Warrnambool, who are sitting 10 and 4, and really have come into their own in the back end of the season. I feel all of a sudden Polydor is getting huge numbers. They got Alex Gines, they got Ollie Bidmade just dominating the boards. You look at their run home, only play against one of the top 5 teams out of their 5 games.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting to see how they're going to go here because, some of these teams like, your Bulleens and your Warrandytes who aren't really, you could probably still consider that they are in the race, but how they approach these games will be very interesting. Where do they sort of think long term and they look towards finals, or they keep their head focused and they look to just the next win and then the next win and then the next win?
Yeah, for sure. And then you got the 10 and 4 RMI2. So pretty much it looks at the moment it's sort of those teams battling out for second, third's really tight because Gippsland United is not too far away. There is Pakenham on the 9 and 4 and 11-5 records. So this is the part where it gets really interesting because obviously second, third have that double chance. RMIT are facing Pakenham and Shepparton. 2 out of their 6 games are against top 5 teams at the moment. So they're looking in a good position, but certainly can't rest on their laurels.
Yeah, absolutely. Pakenham 11 and 5 have just 4 games left in their season. 3 of those 4 are against top 4 teams.
Yeah, that is tough.
Incredibly tough. Now, they do have Coburg to round out their season. Not to say that that's a solidified win, but to hold this position here, it's going to be tough. They're going to have to try and get at least one of those wins to sort of finish with a 2 and 2 to finish their season.
Yeah, well, we know they've got a really good rivalry with Gippsland United.
Absolutely.
Both coming up from Div 2 men, being somewhat local out there with cheeky 40-minute drive, but it'll be really interesting. So we know that one can be close. Warrnambool have sort of gone to that next level in the second half of the season, so Pakenham are going to be have to be on their very best. Keep in mind, a few of those losses came when Josh Dow was out.
True.
Josh Dow is back in.
Very true. But now you look at RMIT, who's their immediate next customer, and after the weekend that they had with their insane dynamic duo,
Yeah.
that's not going to be an easy battle for them.
No, it's certainly this whole jungle within that top 5 is exciting. Then you look at Warrandyte, sort of a pretty hard run home, as does Coburg and Bulleen. So, going to be an exciting one to watch, Ted.
It really will. Look, that'll be all for us today, guys. Keep it locked in, Big V, as we make our run home. See you soon.